Hello everyone out there. This is Harlan Parrott again over here in Baton Rouge. I'd like to come to you again today with another guitar lesson which I think that you will enjoy. Last time we studied modes and we based all of our studies on the simple major scale, which consists, if you watch the videos, of a starting point, going 2 frets, 2 more frets, then 1 fret, then going 2 more frets, 2 more frets, 2 more frets, and 1 fret. You wind up back where you started, only an octave higher. Today we're going to show you how chords actually work, and we're going to start off with the actual basic chord that I want to teach you some concepts on. The chord we're going to begin with is the actual basic triad. That means there's 3 notes in the chord, and we're going to start on the bottom string, the 3rd fret, 1, 2, 3. We mash it just before the fret. Then on the 2nd string we depress on the 5th fret, and on the 3rd string we also depress on the 5th fret, and we have 3 notes. If you will remember from the last video, we had the 1st, 3rd, and 5th tone of the major scale, and it actually made a major chord when we did that. So we counted. We started with C. C was 1, D, E. There's the 3rd. That's the 2nd note we have. We started with C, then E, and we got the 3, F, G. And number 5 is G. So it's just the alphabet, but we started on C. According to which chord you're in, that's the note you start on. So we have C, E, G. Now notice this. We can take this chord and we can go up the scale and just move this chord the same formation we have, and we can make all the other major chords from that one chord formation. They just change names, but they're still the 1, 3, 5 of another scale. Now notice this real carefully. This is 1, 3, 5 of C. If we go down 1, which between B and C, you remember there's only 1 fret. That's because between the 3 and 4 positions of that scale, the major scale, you have 1 fret in between the 7 and 8. So C is the 8. And if we drop down 1 to the 7, it's 1 fret. That becomes a B because it's just before C. So we have C. We go down a fret, we got B. We go down 2 more frets, and that means we don't have any note that we have to mash on the bottom. But we got an A. So we just got these 2 notes, but this nut takes the place of what we had to depress with our 1st finger. So let's come back up to C and watch what happens as we go up the scale, and we actually change chords according to the alphabet and according to the C scale. There's C. We go 2 frets, which is D. 2 more frets, E. 1 more fret, F. 2 more frets, G. 2 more frets, A. 2 more frets, B, and 1 more fret, we come back to where we started. Now this is a concept. The concept is the same on any chord on the guitar or any stringed instrument. It's the same concept. If you started a note in that scale, and you can actually go up from C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Or you can just go up a half a tone, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, but you're making the major chords, all of those major chords, as a matter of fact. And we had the first 3, 5. Now we're going to go to a concept that is very vital for you to know, because you're unlimited to what you can do as far as knowledge is concerned if you learn some of these basic concepts. You see this thing right here? We told you what that was, I think, in the first or second lesson. This is the nut. When you make a chord and you have open strings, that nut takes the place of what you would have to depress if you were up here somewhere. We did that we went from C, B, A a while ago. The nut, we did these two notes right here, and the nut took the place of having to depress here because there was nothing to press. So it was open. Watch this concept. Let's take a C chord, for example. This is what we basically learned in a lesson or so back. The C chord is here. Now notice, we have a C note here, which is a 1. We have an E note here, which is a 3. We have a G note here, which is a 5. We have another C note, which is a 1. And we have another E note, which is a 3. Now, this is the way you make it. So we actually have, if we looked at the scale, we have 1, 3, 5, 1, 3. Now, this is a concept that's very simple, but yet it's so effective. If we change our fingers around, for example, and instead of using these 3 fingers here, we use these last 3 fingers and we did it like this. We still got the same chord. Now watch this. You see that nut there? I'm going to pretend that my finger's there. We still got the chord because we're not depressing any frets. If I take that chord and raise it up 2 frets, according to our principle a while ago, we have a D. But we've got to replace the nut with our finger here. We're going to push this down here. See that? We're going to depress that whole thing down there. And we're going to do the C chord formation here. But now we got a D. We raise it up 2 more frets. We still got the nut here that we're mashing here on these frets. We're replacing this nut with our finger. We got an E. We go 1 more, we have an F. 1 more, we have a G. 2 more, we have an A. We actually went from F to G was 2. 2 more is an A. 2 more is a B. And 1 more is a C. Now notice here on the C, we don't have to put the bar because we didn't need it here. So we could use it like this. You see, we still have the access to the open strings. Now this is a concept that will work in any chord. For example, I'm just going to use this. For example, I'm going to just play D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And we're just changing the same chord, just moving it down. If we wanted to make a D this way, and we wanted to make it with a full, say, 5 strings here, there it would be there. We raise it up 2 frets to an E, and we depress with a bar here and do the bottom 5 strings, we got an E. And we got an F. If we move up 1 fret, 2 more, we have a G. 2 more, we have an A. 2 more, we have a B. 1 more, we have a C. So that's another way to make a C. As a matter of fact, you can take any one of these major chord formations and make all the other major chords just by moving it up, counting numbers, and going forward or backward in the alphabet. We started here with C. Remember, we went backwards 1 fret, we had a B. We went back 2 more frets, we had an A. We started here with C again, we went up. The next letter in the alphabet going forward from C is D. And again, the next one, E. Between E and F, there's 1 fret. We have an F. 2 more, we have a G. 2 more, we have an A. 2 more, we have a B. And 1 more, we have a C. We come back to where we started. Now, that's the way it is with any chord. And if you can remember some basic principles here, we can make, for example, I'm going to use this, for example, I'm going to make an A minor chord. Okay, you can see how it's made. We'll tell you why it's a minor and how simple that is in just a little bit. There's an A minor. We raise it 2 frets. Got a B. minor. One more, got a C minor. Two more, we have a D minor. Two more, an E minor. One more, an F minor. Two more, a G minor. And two more, an A minor, where we started. That's the way it works on every chord on any stringed instrument. It doesn't matter what it is. Now, for example, we can take this C chord here. We have a 1, 3, 5, or C, E, G note. Remember, a major chord consists of a 1, a 3, and a 5. No matter what major chord it is, it consists of 1, 3, 5 of that particular major scale. It changes with the individual scales. Okay, so remember that. It's not going to stay in C. We're using C because it has no sharps or flats for the sake of simplicity. So we have C, E, G, or 1, 3, 5. That's the chord formula for a major chord. 1, 3, 5 of the major scale. Okay, you got that? Now, in order to make a minor, we take the 3, just the 3 note, which happens to be E, we lower it 1 fret and leave the other 2 notes where they were. And we got, instead of this, we have this. Now it becomes a C minor. And we can go up with that: D minor, E minor, F minor, G minor, A minor, B minor, C minor. Back down to where we started. Okay, that's a concept I want you to get in your mind. It's very, very important. No matter what chord it is, we need to know what each note is in that chord. And I'm going to give you one more example here. This chord, we depress the string number 3 on fret number 1. We depress string number 4, which is the D string, on fret number 2. And the A string, which is the 5th string, we depress on fret number 2 also. And we have an E chord. This is an E major chord. Hear that? Now we use the concept that we learned previous. We can change these fingers around. Instead of using these 3, we can use these 3 like this. We can raise it up 1 fret, and the next letter in the alphabet is F from E. We can take this nut here and replace it on that 1st fret with our finger and still have the E chord here, or the E chord formation, but now it becomes an F major chord. Then we raise it up 2 more. We have a G. 2 more, we have an A. 2 more, we have a B. 1 more, we have a C. 2 more, we have a D. And 2 more, we have an E. See, that concept works on any chord. Now, there's something I want you to notice. From the top to the bottom, we have these particular tones that are a part of the major scale. And when we have a major chord, all of these tones are going to be 1s, 3s, and 5s. Okay? It don't matter how many of those you have, it's still a major chord. The top one is E. Since we're playing the E chord, it's an E major chord. The next one, first off, that's the E is the top one is an E, and it's a 1. Now this is what is real important to know what this is, because you can move these notes around in these chords, make any chord you want to. There's a 1, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1. 1, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1. You got that? 1, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1. Now if we take that chord, we raise it up 1 fret and replace the nut with our 1st finger. We got an F chord, but we still have the same position of the 1, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1. Okay? If we raise it up 2 more frets to a G, we have a G chord, G major, but we still have the same tones. 1, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1. Now, if we can take that and look, we have 2 ones, 3 ones. We have 1, 1, 1 right here. All of them are ones. That's on the top string, the 4th string, and the bottom string. We have 1, 3, which is on the 3rd string, and we have a 5 on the 2nd string. So if we want to make that chord a minor, all we have to do is take this note on the 3rd string and drop it down 1 fret. And all we have to do to accomplish that in this chord is just lift this finger up. Now we got, instead of a G major, we have a G minor. Then we can make it, raise it up 2 frets, we have an A minor. 2 more, we have a B minor. 1 more, we have a C minor. You see how the concept works? So we have major chords, minor chords. So still 1, 5, 1, 3 flat, because it was a 3, dropped 1 fret, 5, 1. Now this is where all chords work. Here's the regular chord we started with, which is E. And we took this note on the 3rd string and we lifted our finger, or same as we did before, we dropped it 1 fret, and we got an E minor chord. Okay? We can take those 2 concepts there, raising it up to the next note that we want, basically, and change all these chords just by moving it and adding this nut with our finger. Now, we have the major chord and we have the minor chord. Now, if we take the major chord and we look at the scale configuration, here is a 1, there's a 1, there's a 1. Okay? We can take this 1, which is an 8. We can drop it 1 fret, leave the other notes where they are. Here it is. We drop that 1 note, 1 fret. We got a major 7 chord. We can drop it back down from an A to a G. We still got a major 7. We can drop it down to an F. We still got a major 7 chord. Hear it? Now if we come back up, major 7, isn't that pretty? Now we could take that note that we just dropped 1 fret, which was this one. We can drop it 2 frets and leave all the other notes the same. Now we have what we call a dominant 7. Hear it? All right. We could take and add. For example, we're going to start back with a major chord. We take this note. We're going to do this note now. We can change the notes around, but we want to do this one here first. We drop it 1 fret. Okay, now we'll bring it back up. That was a major 7. Because we took an 8 and dropped it down to a 7, which is 1 fret between an 8 and a 7 in the intervals. Now watch this. We take this 3. We drop it down 1 fret. Now we got a minor. If we drop this 1 on the D string here, the 4th string, down 1 fret also, we have a chord called a minor major 7. Just by maneuvering these notes a little bit. We drop it 1 more. We got a minor 7. See, so we started off with major. We came up with major 7, dominant 7. We had minor, minor major 7, minor 7. Okay, so if we take this same chord, we've got 1, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1. We can take this note on the D string, drop it 2 frets. Let's drop it 1 fret first. We got minor, we got a major 7 rather. Now if we take either the top note or the bottom note, which are 1s, or roots they call them, we can raise either one of those up from an 8, 2 frets, and remember the 2 frets is either a 2 or a 9, because there's a number 7 between those. An 8 is a 9, comes up to a 9 rather, or a 1 comes up to a 2. Now if we take this chord here, which is a major 7, and we add this 2 or 9 to it, we have a major 9 chord. Hear that? If we drop it this note one more fret, we have dominant, that dominant sound here. And we add this on the bottom, on the second, going up 2 frets, or the number 2 interval, or the 9. We got a dominant ninth chord, which most people call ninth. Hear that? If we drop this 3, like we did on the minor, now we got a minor ninth chord. Hear that? A minor ninth now. And if we dropped it only 1 fret from this, we took the major, we had the 1, we drop it 1 fret, and we drop the 3, 1 fret, we got a minor major 7, but then if we add this little note down here, we got a minor major 9. See, all these things sound real mysterious to you right now, but if you study this and see how these chords work, we start off with a 1, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1 interval. That's it. And you learn chord families. The major chord is 1, 3, 5 of that particular major scale. The minor chord is 1, 3 flat, or the 3 lowered 1 fret, 5. Okay? And then if we want to add a 7 to it, a major 7, we take a 1 and we drop it a fret. It becomes a major 7. If we want to have a minor major 7, we drop the root, or the 1, 1 fret, and we also drop the 3, 1 fret. We got minor major 7 there. If we want to make a 9, we take a root, which is also, if we add 7 to it, it's an 8, because we came back to that root from the 7, 8, which becomes a 1 or an 8. We raise that root 2 frets. We got a second or a 9. Remember, there's an interval of 7 numbers between the two, and you can find that on any one of those notes. We studied that before in one of those lessons. There's that 9th, there's a minor major 9, there's a major 9. Okay, we're going to cover one more, and this we have a 1, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1. We're going to use this 5. And remember, we add 7 to it, we got a 12. So we want to raise it 2 frets to a 6. We add 7 to that number, and we have 13. So we take the major chord, we drop the root 2 frets, or we drop it 1 fret first, and we add this, and we add the 2 on the bottom, on the actual small string, and we got a major 13. There it is. And if we drop it 1 more fret, we got a dominant 13. So if you take any one of these chords like this dominant 13, raise it from A, 2 frets, we got a B dominant 13, C dominant 13, D dominant 13. See where all these chords in these books come from? They all come from this basic, simple, moving 1, 3, 5 around. That's all the world it is. There's nothing mysterious about it. These big chord books that's got thousands of chords in it, it confuses the fire out of you sometimes. But these simple concepts will help you to see what's going on in all these books. And let's take, for example, that's about the simplest chord to do all these different changes, but you can do others also. Let's take C, for example. Remember, we can change our fingers around, and we can raise it up 2 frets, for example, to a D. We have to replace this nut with our finger. Now we got a D major. Now if we want to make a D major 7, we take this D note. First off, let me tell you what we have. We have a 3, 1, 3, 5, 1, 3. Let's go over it one more time. 3, 1, 3, 5, 1, 3. Now if we take this 1, it doesn't matter which one you use, okay? But these are common chords. We take this note here on the second string, which is a root or a 1, we drop it a fret, which We took an 8 and went down to a 7. So there's a D major 7. And if we 1, 2, 3, hear that major scale? If we took this 3 and we dropped it 1 fret, there's a minor major 7. If we want to just make it minor, we just do this. We just drop the 3 1 fret to a 3 flat, which is a minor chord formula. 1, 3 flat, 5. But we can't play a major on top of a minor because it becomes a like it's called dissonant sound. It sounds odd. But we can take one note and make it into a minor third and just not play the other major thirds, and we'll have that. There are chords that do that, which is called 7 sharp 9s, etc. But we're not going to worry about them right now. Suppose we want to do this number. Here's a root. We have a root here and a root here. Hear it? We can take either one of them roots and drop it a fret. You've heard the song? Hear that? All we're doing is just walking down and making chords. There's a D major. We drop that one note down 1 fret, we got a D major 7. Now watch this. If we drop it down 1 more fret, we got a D dominant 7. So if we take that chord, raise it up 2 frets, we got an E dominant 7. 1 more, an F dominant 7. 2 more, we got a G dominant 7. Or we can take this D, E, F, G. We can raise this finger up, which is an 8. Remember, it's an 8 or a 1. We have 3, 1, 3, 5, 1, 3. We drop that note 1 fret. We got a G major 7. So you can make all the major 7s like that. Hear the sound of a major 7 chord, isn't that beautiful? Like it. If I can make it right. Hear that? Isn't it pretty? There's all types of chords. And if you can remember those 2 things right there. 3, 1, 3. 5, 1, 3, and that's what we have with the C chord. We have a 3, 1, 3, 5, 1, 3. All we have in the C chord is C, E, G. That's all we have, but we have more than one. And therefore, we can take the C chord. We can take this note, we can drop it, make the C major 7 as we just showed you. We can raise it 2 frets and actually have a C add 9 chord. I guess that's my time to stop for tonight, but that's my little signal, I guess, my dog. But those concepts are very important, and if you could get that in your mind, how that these chords work, we can make the same thing we did a while ago. We can take and we can drop the root 1 fret, have a major 7. We can drop the root 1 fret, have a major 7. We can drop the 3, which is, remember, 3, 1, 3. We can drop it 1 fret and just don't hit the top 3 or the bottom 3, because they're both 3s. And we can just do these notes we have depressed. We have a C minor. Hear it? And all those chords work the same way. If you can get the concepts, if you can learn just the basic chord, we just say the major chords and the minor chords, and then learn how to maneuver these notes, see how they fit. I've shown you 2. And that's about all that I'm going to show you today. We got other formations here. For example, there's an A, and we can do this, raise it up 2 frets and put our bar, have a B, a C, a D, and we can take that D or either one of these chords. We have a 1. Here's the notes we have in the whole 6 strings. We have a 5, 1, 5, 1, 3, 5. So if we want to make it minor, we take the 3 and drop it 1 fret to here, from here to there. Now we got a D minor chord instead of a major. If we want to make it minor major 7, we take this root here, or this 1, drop it from an 8 to a 7. We've got minor major 7. If we want to just make it major 7, we leave the major chord here, and we just lower the root 1 fret, and we got a major 7 chord. Minor major 7. Hear that sound? All these chords have a purpose. And I'm not going to teach you songs because it's not necessary. I just want to teach you how to understand a guitar. If we drop that root 2 frets, it becomes a major 7, then dominant. Now we have a dominant D7 chord. If we want to make that a 9th chord, we can take this root, for example, and raise it 2 frets. Okay, we can do that, or we can do it like this. We could actually do it like this, because we took this 3rd, which was a 10, and we dropped it 2 frets and made a 9 out of it. Okay, and we can do it more than one way. Here is another chord. Hear that? Here's a typical way to make a 9th chord, which is a real good example. Here's a C, for example. The C, we have the same formation. 3, 1, 3, 5, 1, 3. We take the 5, raise it 2 frets to a 6. We got a 6th chord now. We raise it 2 more. We got a major 7. And to make it dominant, we drop it 1 fret. Now we've got a C dominant 7. Then if we take this root, which is an 8 or a 1, we raise it up to the 2 or the 9, and we leave the 7th chord there. We've got a C 9th chord, C dominant 9, they call it. And if we take the 3 here on the bottom, 3, 4, same major scale, 5. We can add that on the top end there, or they call it the top end. It's actually the top end as far as the pitch is concerned, but it's the bottom string. So there's the 3, 4, 5, which is still a part of the major type chord. There's the 6, add 7 to it, we've got 13. So there's a C13 chord. We raise it 2 frets, so we have a D13. 2 more, we have an E13. You've heard songs like this, all your life. We're like, hear that? These are just old finger style songs, like. Well, I hope you got something out of this. The concepts are so important. Any chord, all you have to do is raise it up and replace that nut with your first finger. You've got another chord with the same basic name, only it just changes keys. C, raise it 2 frets, have a D. You replace the nut with your finger. And any minor chord, any 7 chord, you can do the same way. Any chord, it don't matter what it is, a minor 9. And I hope this lesson has been something to encourage you. It sure encourages me to be able to help you. Some things that I've learned very slowly over the years and taught myself, all of it, of course. And some things that I believe as we go along for a few more lessons, we're giving these concepts, and to teach you basically how to make all types of chords, multiple chords. And the next time we're going to show you a way to make chords in different inversions, they call it, the same chord in different places on the guitar, with a concept called string transference. So until next time, I hope you enjoyed it. This is Harlan. Goodbye.